I'm someone. No, I'm a child of God.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new here. Welcome to the Blossom-ERS family. So as you can tell by the title, today we're going to be doing a Q&A just so you guys can get to know more about me and who I am, what I do, etc. But yeah, let's get right into the video. Okay, so getting right into the video, just like the basics about me. So obviously my name is Jennifer, if you couldn't already see by like my YouTube channel. My name is Jennifer Medina. I'm a college student. I'm 18 years old. I'm about to be 19 next month. I'm not really into like the whole like horoscope. But if you are wondering, I am a Taurus. I'm like the last day of Taurus. But yeah, that's like the basics of me. The question that I got asked the most on, because I had posted like questions for you guys to um ask me or whatever. So the main question that I got asked was like, what's my major and why did I choose it? So my major is business administration. And the reason why I chose business was because basically like if you haven't already like dove into like my pages, I do have two small businesses. So I'm a social media manager, and then I also have my sweets page, which I do like edible arrangements, chocolate covered strawberries, and things like that. So I already have two small businesses, and like I knew whatever I wanted to do, like it has to be something with business, it has to be something with entrepreneurship, it has to be something with being in the field of being my own boss. So that's really why I took business. But lately I've been into like the obviously the content creation. I've been into like psychology and speaking to people and giving people advice and helping people out. So like my interest is kind of like turning. I know I want to do business, but I think I'm probably gonna minor in psychology. But yeah, so that's like where my interest is right now. We're still figuring it out. So I'm still a freshman, so it's cool. But yeah, that was the main question that I got asked, and then we're just gonna go into like basic questions before I start answering questions that are like more explained. So one of the questions were, how many siblings do I have? So I have 11 siblings, which is honestly like an interesting fact about me, though I was the only child raised in my household. So I was raised by myself with my two parents. Another question that I got asked, which I think is a funny question because it's just a funny question because like if you know me, you know. If you don't, you don't. But how tall am I? So I am 4'11". I'm really short. Um, my parents are like average height. Like my dad's like 5'6", 5'7". My mom is like 5. I don't even know, but they're both like in the 5 areas. And then my grandmother is like really really short. Like she's shorter than me, so I guess that's where I get my shortness from. But yes, I am 4'11". I'm 18, and I'm not growing no more. So it is what it is, and I'm okay with my height. I like my height, so stop. Don't try to gel me. Anyways, another one of my questions that I think like are basic or whatever, to like quick answers are to describe myself in 3 words. So I filmed this video already, and then I didn't like it when I was editing it, so I'm redoing it. But when I try to answer describe yourself in 3 words, I could not answer it. But to answer it now, I would say I'm ambitious, confident, and hardworking. So I say that to say just because I feel like whatever I want, like regardless of how long it takes to get it, I'm very like hardworking, and I'm very like I'm gonna go after it, and I don't stop until I get it. So I'm very hard working, and I'm very like I feel like at my age, I'm in like a good mindset of like my career and like what I want to do in life. I do what I have to do. Like, I feel like I already had my fun. I started my spiritual journey, and I'm working towards being the best version of myself each day. So, yeah. And if I had to add on to that, I would say I'm very outgoing. Like, if you're my friend, you already know that like I'm very outgoing, I'm very goofy, be cracking jokes and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's how I would describe myself in 3 words. Another question was, what music do I listen to? So this is a good question because obviously I started my spiritual journey, and it's like a thing, not to listen to worldly music. That's like a whole nother conversation when it comes to worldly music, and what I really think that like worldly music or secular music has behind its meaning and stuff like that. But like the moral of it, I honestly feel like secular music or worldly music is has meanings behind it. You have artists that sold their soul. You have artists that are very demonic that you don't realize, and it's like through their music that they're expressing that kind of thing. I feel like so my biggest thing, like before I got on my spiritual journey, I was a very much like dembow girly. I was a very much like Spanish girly, Drake girly. Like those were like my go-tos all the time. Like I would be getting lit to dembow. Like I'd be dancing to Spanish music. I'd be dancing Jersey music. I'd be, you know, doing doing a do, and I that was the music that I used to listen to. But now I've progressed. I feel like one of the biggest things in my spiritual journey that I completely shifted around. So I muted this part of the video because wasn't really making any sense. But what I was trying to say was that worldly music or secular music was one of the first things that God has had really shifted in my life, and something that I didn't even want to listen to anymore. I usually listen to gospel music now, so I listen to Maverick City. I listen to my church, which is Church Live. I listen to Elevation Worship. I be trying to listen to some Afro beats, but the thing to what like music like that is when you listen to Christian music or gospel music, you want to try not listening to like the same type of beats that they want to call Christian music, because it will kind of put you in that mindset and remind you of the other songs that you used to listen to, that it's kind of going to make you want to listen to those other songs. So I try to stay away from like more hype beat um Christian music, because it just kind of reminds me of the music that I used to listen to, and then it makes me want to go and listen to that music. So that's the music that I listen to. Another simple question that I got asked was, what do you do on your free time? I'm taking this as when I don't have class and things like that. Like I just do like self care. I do things for myself. I get things done that I need to get done on my free time. So obviously like, you know, homework, laundry, cleaning my room, editing, and things like that. But really like on my free time where it's like not things that I have to do, but things that I want to do, would be obviously recording, editing, planning, um, what else? Journaling, Bible studying, and stuff like that. So those are things that like I don't need to do, but those are things that I want to do on my free time, and things that I do on my free time. Um, And then, obviously I have days where I literally on my free time, I literally take a shower, do what I have to do, and then I lay down and I'm just scrolling on TikTok because I don't feel like doing anything else. But usually when I have the motivation and I'm usually like up with energy, I do things that make me happy, things that make me feel like I got my life together, which is journaling, Bible study, Bible journaling, praying, um, planning out my weeks, taking notes, editing, making YouTube videos, things like that. So that's really what I do on my free time. Usually I have meetings, so I am a mentor for Project Rise at my college. So on my free time as well, like I meet with my mentees. So if you don't know what Project Rise is, it's basically a program at my college that is for students that are on academic probation. Another simple question was what has been my biggest accomplishment, like I guess this year or last year. But one of my biggest accomplishments was honestly like coming to college and graduating high school. So for me, like um high school was hard for me, and in a way where like I want to say like I wasn't really like ever a studious student. Like I literally hated school. I hated going to school. I wasn't very social. I didn't have friends. So like I didn't even look forward to going to school because I literally had nobody. I literally had one friend. But before her, or even like I wouldn't be able to spend every second with her obviously. So like I literally had nobody else in my high school. I didn't have anybody. Not that I needed anybody, but obviously like everybody has like a group of friends in high school, whether they're your for lifers or they're not. Like everybody has a friend group. I wasn't one of those people that had a friend group. I was one of those outsiders in high school. So for me, like high school was hard. So one of my biggest, and I had went through so much and literally in high school my sophomore year with COVID, and then my brother passing away and things like that. So I overcame so much in high school, and then I graduated, so it was like my biggest accomplishment. And then going to college was something huge for me too, because I'm a first generation college student. So it was something huge for me that I was even able to go to college and receive scholarships that I never knew I could receive. Because when I was looking at what are my next steps after high school, like my counselor was literally like, "Oh, you should go to community college, blah blah blah, because your GPA." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." So like, I didn't even think I could even make it to college. I didn't even think my application would go through because like my GPA was so low. And if you guys are wondering, my GPA was a 2.7. Wasn't extremely low, but it was like not what I thought you needed to have. I thought you needed to have like a 3.0. And for me in high school, like I thought a 3.0 was the highest grade you can get. Now that I'm in college, I know a 4.0 is the highest. So I was very like I didn't have a lot of information on things like that. And I wasn't really like somebody that was always looking at my grades. Like I was just okay with just passing. I was never really like I want to go above and beyond for my grades and be above and beyond and be on honors and things like that. So I didn't really have that much that knowledge in high school. So being able to like something was telling me last minute like apply to college, do your essay, even if you can't get it looked over, do your essay, turn turn it in. Like I meant like submit your application. And I did. I submitted my application to Montclair, St. Elizabeth University, um, Fairleigh Dickinson, and NJCU, and I got accepted into basically all of them. So, which leads into my next question of why I came to St. Elizabeth University and not the other colleges that I applied to. So, um, I came to St. Elizabeth University basically because one, they were giving me more money in scholarships, and I've always seen that like when picking your college, like you want to pick a college that has like the most that gives you the most money basically. So that's really what I picked it as. But honestly when I came here, like I was so like welcomed. I was so I realized how small the school was, which was something I enjoyed because I feel like one of my things was like one of one of the things that I feel like everybody goes for in college is like a big college, the big university you get accepted to, and there's stores everywhere. There's Starbucks, there's Chick-fil-A, there's Chipotle, like there's areas in your campus that you can go get food. There's stores. Da, da, da. My college didn't have that, and which for some reason I liked. I mean, obviously, I wish there was like stores and things around that were closer, that were actually on campus and not a 10-minute drive. But I just loved how small the campus was. I love how they included that basically like the classes are small, the professors are able to focus more on in their the teachers are able to focus on their students individually, and you're able to like actually learn and have a relationship with your professor versus a big university where there's 100 students in a class and the teacher don't know your name. So that was something that really stuck out to me, that which led to my decision on coming here. um but yeah, that's basically why I chose St. Elizabeth. So my last three questions, they like all revolve around each other, and they're basically how did I start my spiritual journey and why, and what are some sacrifices I started in my spiritual journey. So basically my spiritual journey I started in December, I want to say. So it was like winter break for like college students, so like we've had like the month off. Honestly, I didn't really experience anything. I feel like people that usually go into their spiritual journey is because they experience so much, and they have experienced something that just made them start following the Lord. But for me, it wasn't like that. For me it was more of I was just seeing things on TikTok that like I was interested in. So like, I'm a girl, I'm a girly girl, so I enjoy like highlighters, taking notes, journaling, and things like that. So like what was trending over that time during that time was like the Truth Bible, and um there's something I like. I was already thinking about starting it, but I didn't know how to start. So I saw the Truth Bible on TikTok, and for Christmas, like told my parents like, I want the Truth Bible, I want the tabs, I want the journal, I want this, I want that. So I got everything basically to start my spiritual journey, which kind of motivated me and pushed me more to start opening my Bible, start learning more about the Lord on my own from the book. And during that time was the first time I ever went to church, like actually, like as a teenager. And I fell in love with my church. I started doing Bible study. I started reading my Bible. I started journaling more and stuff like that. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys. I'm not consistent on it. That's something I definitely lack, is consistency, which I said in my other video where I spoke about the 5 things that God taught me. So I definitely lack consistency, but I'm still working towards making Bible study and journaling and things like that a habit and putting it into my everyday life. But that's basically how I start. Why I started, I guess I already said that, like, I was interested in it, and then when I started it and I started praying and stuff like that, I honestly seen like the dramatic change in my life where I kind of felt at peace, and I kind of felt like I had somebody to talk to. I had somebody there. Not I do. Um, I just felt like the comfort and the peace in building my relationship with the Lord, and how beautiful it is and how different it makes you compared to everybody else. And not to like say that I'm better than anyone, but just saying that like I just felt I just felt so good when I started, and I felt like I was doing something right, right? So I just felt so like at peace. I was so happy. I had so much faith, and not I had, I do, I was having so much faith and so much trust. And there were so many things that I prayed for, so many things, so people that were getting removed out of my life, signs that I was seeing. And I just felt like, my life was working the way that it should versus the way that it was before, where I was kind of like trying to figure out my own things. And I feel like I kind of started to, everything that I was worried about, everything I was stressed out, I kind of put it on God. And I was praying, and everything that I prayed for, like, not obviously not everything came true, but I'm saying like I was I felt like God was starting to guide me, and not God was starting to show me things, and things were coming to light, things I had to accept it, and things that like I was being tested for, sacrifices that I had to start making. And it's like as I was doing it, I wasn't mad about it. Obviously it's hard because everything around you was the complete opposite. The people around you are probably the complete opposite. So it was hard trying to transition into being different than the friend group that I have, and not going out, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's definitely hard, but once you're into it, there's no getting out of it. And not to say that you can't get out of it, but saying that like you're gonna be so at peace, and your mind is gonna be so open to everything that God has to offer for you, if that makes sense. So the next question is, what are some sacrifices that I started in my spiritual journey? So I mentioned earlier, like, obviously, like secular music, worldly music, gossiping, cursing, going out to parties, and things like that. So that's like the whole gist of it. But yeah, those are some things that I started sacrificing. And then I think one of the questions were like, what is the hardest thing that you had to sacrifice, or that whatever. Um, but I feel like one of the hardest things for me was partying, because I was a party freak. I would literally like at least get one person to come with me, even if my roommate didn't want to go. Um, and for me, like, I'm a dancer. Well, I was a dancer, and for me, it was like dancing was like my thing. So a party would come around, like I was going. I was in that all the time, 24/7, every week. Um, so that was definitely one of the hardest things. I had to like realize that like this is not for me anymore. And even though like I didn't want to go at times, like I would fall into temptation and go because my friends were going, that I realized, oh, maybe I do actually want to go. And I would go and fall into temptation and things like that. So definitely one of the harder things that I had to I would also follow that up with cursing. I feel like cursing is definitely in my vocabulary all the time. But something that I definitely started to realize was, as I started to progress in making sacrifices, I realized, and praying about like for my urges of sin to go away, and for you know for God to help me to stop cursing and things like that. So definitely cursing. And then I realized that like as I progressed in that part of my life of cursing and things like that, when I type, it's easier to catch myself cursing. So when I'm typing a curse word, I'm trying to like delete it, because okay, I can catch myself, but when I'm speaking verbally to somebody or when I'm speaking, it's kind of harder, but I do catch myself and I'm like, oh my bad, or God forgive me, or I try to replace my words. But yeah, those are like the two main things. But yeah, guys, I'm trying to see. So one of the last questions, which should have been the first question, was why did I start YouTube? So, or what made you want to start YouTube? So, honestly, um, I've always wanted to do like content creation and making videos and stuff like that, like the whole like aesthetic of it. And so I thought I would obviously start off with YouTube. Back to going on mute because I don't know what I was saying. But basically, I started my channel because, I really just enjoy the content creation life type of thing. And I really just wanted to, get on YouTube and really impact some people and share, my knowledge and everything that I know, share my experiences with you guys, have you guys a part of my life. And it's just something that I always wanted to do and I never really knew how to do. And then I started to grow more knowledge on how to do it. And then if you noticed at one point, I did have videos and then I deleted it and then I kind of just started fresh. So yeah, guys, this is the end of the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you guys join the Blossom-ERS family. And remember that Jesus loves you. You are beautiful. And there's nothing that you cannot do in life. I'm out. I think you guys like this outro of telling y'all that I'm out. Lottie. Bye.
I'm someone, no, I'm a child of God. I wanna go to Golly way.